Afternoon, guys. We'll start with the broadcast section that's got no embargo, followed by an embargoed section for 10:30 p.m. tonight. No live tweeting during the broadcast section, please. And for those in the broadcast section, use the microphone. Michael.
Cheers. Hi, Ange. You all right?
Yeah, good, man.
Just get the team news, please, and also a bit of an update on Mickey and Madders, if there is one.
Mickey and Matters, no real update, mate. Same as a few weeks back. International break. We've had a couple of issues out of that. Young Ash Phillips picked up an ankle injury with the England team, so he's out for a little while. Still sort of assessing it, but at least probably a month out. And then we're just checking on Pape Sarr, who's got a bit of an issue coming back from national team as well. So we'll just see how he is tomorrow. Didn't train today. Aside from that, I think we obviously Biss is suspended, but we'll get Destiny back. I think everyone else is okay.
Obviously, off the back of a Wolves defeat, you had the international break as well. And I keep reading articles that Tottenham going to play a different way after losing Van der Ven, Maddison. But you keep saying this is the way you want to play. Do you feel like people aren't listening to how you want to play the game?
No, I don't think it's whether people are listening or not. I think it's fair enough. When obviously, our last two results haven't been great. But I guess my point is that as I've said all along, we're at the beginning of trying to build something, and I think it's always important wherever I've been in the early stages that you stay really focused on that, on the kind of football we want to play, the kind of team we want to be, and not allow short-term sort of results, good or bad, either way, to kind of influence how you're going. And like I said, but people will always kind of question and I guess scrutinise my approach or our approach. I understand that, and it's not really about me trying to convince people about what we're going to do. It's more about sort of internally making sure that the players, staff, we just stay on course.
Obviously, another injury then at the back, Ashley Phillips. So, and you've got people in now in terms of the recruitment and the scouting. Has there been meetings over the last few weeks in terms of, with January approaching, about any incomings, just making the squad a bit stronger? You've had some bad injuries.
Yeah, no, we're obviously, they all sort of, I guess the challenging bit for us, they all came at once. It hasn't kind of been staggered. So, but, in terms of January, the planning's well away with that. Obviously, Johan has come in and he's leading that in terms of all the background work. And, my involvement won't sort of ramp up till we get closer to sort of January and understanding exactly what our requirements are. At the moment, all that work's been done in the background, and with Johan leading it, and he's obviously brought in some people as well to help him in that area. We'll work with him when the time's right.
Premier League clubs have voted against a temporary ban on loan deals between associated clubs for the January transfer window. What do you think about almost half the Premier League clubs owning other clubs? Is it good for football? And do you think Tottenham maybe are at a disadvantage because they're not in that situation?
I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, this whole football landscape is constantly sort of evolving and changing. It's certainly a lot different to what sort of even in the recent past, the traditional model of ownership of football clubs. It's changing, and I think all football clubs are looking at different ways how they're going to structure themselves. It's not a space I spend a lot of time thinking about because it's stuff that's kind of out of my control, and really, I try and deal with the structure we have in place here, and there's a pretty clear structure in here, Tottenham about, the way the club's run, and that's kind of where my focus lies.
Cheers, Ange.
Thanks, bud.
Rob.
Hi, Ange. Just ask you about Jamie Donnelly. He's been on the bench against Wolves last time out. What have you made of his season today, and is he someone who's potentially close to making his first team debut?
Yeah, no, Jamie's, we're tracking all the young guys, and, Jamie and Alfie Dorrington have been training with us fairly regularly over the recent period, obviously with all the injuries, but also prior to that they were coming in fairly regularly. So, I think that's kind of the first step for all these young guys is to get into the first team environment, see how they cope with training, and see how they sort of develop from there, how they adjust to everything we do and the way we do it. So Look, we're down on numbers obviously, so guys like him will get more of an opportunity to make an impact, like I said, at training, and if he continues to do that, then the opportunity will come for him.
Rodrigo Bentancur played 86 minutes in midweek, obviously first start in 9 months. He's had the long trip back from his homeland as well. How's he reacted to that, and what condition is he in ahead of this weekend?
Yeah, no, he's fine. He trained this morning, it was good for Roddy to play. He was really keen to get back into the national team setup. I mean, obviously, he was keen to get back with us as well, but he obviously missed a fair bit of that national team, and it's something he feels, like most players, I guess, really proud about representing his country. So, and the fact that he got an opportunity to start, I think it's good for us. It gives him that confidence that he can get through a game. Obviously, that he hasn't happened with us, but he's sort of increased his game time. So, I'm assuming he's come out of it, with even more sort of confidence about himself and where he's at, and that's good for us. I think that's a positive.
As it's been such a stop-start season for Tottenham so far with the 3 international breaks, how much are you looking forward to just this continuous period of football now?
Yeah, look, I mean, I guess we're in the same boat as every other club. I mean, it is a bit weird. You kind of play sort of a series of games, and then the guys go away. And I guess probably more challenging for us in that like I said, we're still in the early stages trying to build something, so you don't get a lot of momentum in it. So as you said, now we've got a sort of clean run right through till March. So gives us some time to work with the guys. Thanks for that.
Charlie.
Do you want to talk about another player who's on international duty, Gio Lo Celso, and how he's been coming back? Obviously, he had a pretty intense game, a lot of travel, and how he's looking for Sunday.
Yeah, again, like all the other international guys, they all trained this morning, so there was no issues with any of them. The South American boys were the last ones to get in yesterday, I think, along with Pape. So, but yeah, Emerson, Gio, Bentancur, Romero, they all trained sort of this morning, no issues.
And Ollie Skip, I wanted to ask about, obviously, he started the first game against Brentford and then hasn't in the league anyway since, just how he's looking, how he's shaping up, and whether he could, help with the midfield absentees.
Yeah, no, Skippy's been working hard at training. He's one of the guys who's obviously stayed back with us. We've had sort of 4 or 5 that have done a lot of good work the last couple of weeks. And look, he's working hard. He's sort of waiting for his opportunity, but that doesn't mean he can't make an impact, and he has made an impact coming in off during games and helping us. And look, the challenge for him, for all the guys, is there's no doubt the way we are at the moment with the numbers we have, they'll all get an opportunity to play. It's about what they do with that.
Yeah, just wondered how much of a challenge that is, getting that midfield balance right, because obviously there are a few absentees in that area, and if that's been a headache a bit. Yeah,
look, I think the back four is probably the major issue for us at the moment. We're kind of really low on sort of depth there, but like I said, midfield as well. And look, as I said, that's just the period we're going through at the moment. We've got a lot of absences, our numbers are down, but it's also a time where other guys get an opportunity. And from my perspective, in this early phase, it's about trying to expose as many people as we can to see how we cope with playing our football under stress and when there are changes and against different kinds of opposition.
Okay, George, please.
Hi, Ange. Just going back to Rodrigo, where do you see his best position in your midfield 3?
I think the beauty of him is he can play a couple of different areas. I think he can play as a 6. He can play sort of further forward, 8. He's even creative and I think he can score goals as well. So I think we're kind of hoping that with him and Matters and Pape and Biss, Pierre, sort of, we were well stocked in that midfield area for kind of different kinds of combinations. But obviously that's been disrupted a bit. But look, like I said, I think the key for Rodrigo is just to get him back to that level physically and mentally where he feels really comfortable about, sort of playing at this level. And I don't think he's far off it, from what I've seen. And again, certainly over the next sort of few weeks, he'll get that opportunity.
Tottenham fans have generally seen him as kind of a box-to-box midfield, I guess more of your 8, but he obviously plays as a 6 for Uruguay. Yeah. As he's kind of working his way back to fitness, could the 6th position be a little bit more sort of conducive to him whilst he's not maybe ready to be pressing as he was previously?
Yeah, potentially, I think, and it's probably why they, Marcelo probably used him like that in Uruguay, and watching the game and how he played, he did it really well, so he can play there. But I don't think he's that far off, sort of, from a physical perspective. Being able to play his normal game, whether that's that box to box, as you said. Part of it, I think, is just getting belief in himself and his own body that he's capable of doing it. But from what I've seen at training and what we've seen in games so far, I don't think he's far off it.
And just finally, Aston Villa have had a really good start to the season.
Yeah.
Emery's done really well over the last year. How much of a test will they be? And I guess they also lost 2 players early in the season to injuries and managed to bounce back. So I guess shows that you can get back on a run after a little while.
Yeah, no, they've been good since Unai's got there. They've been really consistent with the way they play their football, and particularly over recent weeks they're scoring goals, and Phil obviously got a great deal of belief, so it's going to be a great test for us. But we're at home, apart from sort of the Chelsea game, the result there, our home form's been really strong, and we just got to make sure we get back to that. And as you said, everyone's got we don't have 2 injuries, we've got a few more than that. So but we're like I said, every club will go through it, and for me, it does allow me to really kind of look at every aspect of our squad, and you kind of try and do that by design, but sometimes it's just that's the sort of our existence at the moment, where guys will get an opportunity to play, and it's great for me to see how they cope with playing our football, how they cope with the stress of playing against good opposition. So it'll be a good test for us, but it's one we have to be up for.
Okay, we'll end the broadcast section. Excuse me. In the broadcast section there, move on to the embargoed section for 10:30 p.m. tonight.